Here. Okay, cool. All right. What's your biggest question about building the right funnel for your business?
So the biggest question is, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier to some extent, is, how do I use my strengths in order to position myself as an authority, and also not just as an authority, but I like the idea, I use an analogy of cheesecake. It's much easier to sell something to someone that's already hungry for what you have. And the promoting part of it's like, how do you give people a taste of that cheesecake so that, they know that they want what you got.
Oh yeah, that's such a great question. Well, I started before with saying list out the gifts that you have. And so you've talked about what you're helping people do, and you've got this clear purpose, and you're really good or great or an expert, whatever, excellent, whatever the words we're going to use, and they can change over time, on imagining and designing, right? Those are part of it even more than the other four in total. So who would that be really valuable to? Who has an expensive problem? For them, it's expensive if they don't solve it. It's a painful problem to them, probably. They want to solve it. They know they can't solve it on their own. It's urgent for them to solve it. Both the expensive, if not solved, and urgent thing are important. There has to also be enough of them, and on an ongoing basis. So I'd say it's kind of common and an evergreen thing.
Yep.
Okay. So
there's like two levels, and the one that I'm working on right now is just helping conscious entrepreneurs create and design their transform their big idea into a profitable program, basically. How do you, and part of that is discovering who you really are. So I like how you brought out of me the idea of, hearing people's stories and hearing like their strengths in their story, because it's really about kind of seeing the magic within, because the things that people are looking for are the things you're really great at, right?
Yeah.
So as an entrepreneur, you might have an idea of whatever it is that you want to do, but it's only an idea, and until you like bring it through that whole process, then it isn't real. It isn't, and I mean real as in something you can actually do something with.
Oh yeah, like in the physical world, it hasn't gotten there yet until we go through these steps.
Right. Yeah. So it's guiding people along those lines.
Okay. One thing, this account occurred to me, which is a side, but it's also really deep to your strategy too, is that you said you're really good at this imagining and design, but not as much as at the building and promoting. So if you find someone that's really good at building and promoting, or someone that's good at building and someone that's good at promoting, then you can collaborate and be more powerful as a team. And you can make your program the collaborative like that, with that team in harmony.
Yep. Absolutely.
More value, and then focus more on your strengths as well in it that way, to make it easier for you and more fun.
Yeah.
And then it should be more profitable too.
Yeah. And I've actually already got a couple of partners who are pretty good at, they're good at the building stage of things. I'm looking for people who are good at the promoting stage of things. The possibility painters, how do you sell people on the big idea that you've got?
I may be getting into that. It's possible. I may, because of those engagement post things I've been doing. It got a lot, like a couple hundred comments on a post. One of them did 40 or 50, another one, same thing, 40 or 50, and smaller ones that were very specific with their question, right? But they were great. I posted these in a specific group that had over 200,000 members, and then I was getting all these comments where we're starting a conversation with those people. And then I can look through it and find great people to bring closer to me from it. So it was like really powerful.
Wow.
So I'm asking a question that invites them into something. Like, do you want an example of one of these questions?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, do you believe that it is right for you to be paid for sharing your greatest gifts with the world?
Huh.
And they agree, right? The yes or no on that one. But that's good
Yeah.
because the yeses are like-minded. I did a different one and I put it on my wall. And yes, I'm getting some people. So I did this first in groups, right? But I've even posted on my wall, like, yes, last night, my message to healers and light workers who struggle with receiving money. Poverty is not virtuous. Would you like to get paid for being who you really are and sharing your greatest gifts? So I am doing what you're saying, right? I am painting a bigger vision. I'm just using a simple question to ask them, and then they say, they do say yes. So they say, I wish, and I'm willing to start charging for this thing I do. Like I need, I'm helping these people like this. I'm a single mother on disability. I struggle to feed my child. I'm in need. No one ever helps me. So I said, let's change that right now, right? And another one is, yes, I would. So they would like to be paid for doing their gift. And I've given them some resources and they said, thanks, Bevan, right? So that's working well there. And yeah, another one that she's just agreeing with me. Poverty is a victim mentality manifesting, and victimhood is never a virtue. Smiley face. So, or wink, right? But there was, there was 3. So on this post so far, there was 3 from my friends. Now, when I post something like this in the group, it gets way more because that's reaching like this big audience in there. And
all right.
It can create very controversial conversations in there as well. But sometimes it's there's different questions I've asked.
Cool. So what's the group that's got 200,000 people in it?
Okay, it's Light Workers of the World.
Okay. I was wondering if it would be that one.
217,000 members.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's how some of this engagement stuff started, although I've been doing it and teaching it even for over a year or 2. But one of these, I saw someone else write this. Light workers, so it's in that group, right? Light workers, what do you do for work? Other than light working, smiley face. When I posted that one, I got 110 comments on it.
Wow.
And I said, do you feel, the do you feel one we've already said, basically. Do you feel it is right to be paid for sharing your greatest gift with the world? 45 comments in that. I think it was in that group.
Huh.
Or it could have been in another group. Yeah. Do
you track that? Do you like have a spreadsheet where you keep track of?
I'm working on that. I'm about to, because I'm launching that. That's this idea I put out yesterday. Yesterday morning after, no, 2 days. Sorry, yesterday evening. A new Watch Me training on engagement. So over 30 days. So I'm planning to get about 100 comments per day on group posts that I put into groups.
Wow.
I'll show you the posts I make and the results of those posts. So then you'll be able to see what I'm testing and my results and what works best. And I'm also going to answer people's questions. So I pitched the idea as I'm thinking about doing this, and I asked people if they would want to learn this. So this is a way to launch something because we're just beginning it with the idea, and yes, they do want to. So I've done it as posting it, and then I private messaged people who I thought would benefit, and asked them to take a look at it and let me know their opinion on it.
Awesome.
And it works. So I'm getting enough responses that I say that I will do it. I'm going to change that. So I will do it. So then the next time I post about it would be like, thank you for all your responses. I've decided I'm going to do it, right? You announce it. It's part of the launch process because we're working collaboratively with our group. The first thing was, I'm thinking about doing this because we may not even do it. So we can start with the idea for a program and tell people about it, that we're thinking about doing it. Or I need your help. I'm in the process of creating this. In this case, it's not even the point of creating it. It's just I'm thinking about doing it. Is that something you want to learn?
Yeah, that's cool.
I hope that helps because that's promotion. I've learned a lot of promotion from Sean Mize. You got to keep promoting. He does it. He's good.
Yeah. Well, that's the other piece. You asked me like, what am I looking for as far as the funnel goes? Is how do I do something that routinely, and I mean that literally, that keeps filling the funnel the sales funnel. Because I don't want to just I want it to be super, super simple, and that fits naturally for me, and that gets results.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. I guess I'll give a couple ideas. One thing you could do is start doing a weekly free call. which could be if you were to do a webinar, if you do a webinar and then you take your best one and have that repeating as a replay, that's one way to automate it. Another way is you actually do it every week. And so then the way Sean Mize does it is every week teach on a new topic, because then you're always building up a library of training at the same time.
Yeah.
Once you get started on this, you'll always have a list of topics you can teach into the future. As soon as you get started, because you just answer people's questions, you get deeper and deeper into it. And people love it and they keep coming back. So if you start with a free weekly call, it's a great way to market, because now that's something to invite people to from anywhere, from social media and like new people you meet, your email list, and it can be in the automated emails, come to the call. You do a broadcast email, come to the call, right? You're inviting people. They know it in advance. They can put it in their calendar, right? You can invite them, remind them, bring them right now to it, all these emails, right? So you can bring people to it, and then they get to hear your voice, get closer to you, and go into things deeper with you.
Yeah.
You build a lot of trust with it, a ton.
So how do you follow Sean Mize? Do you follow his newsletter? Do you follow him on Twitter?
Oh, right. Okay, email. So on his email list. So I bought training from him, tons and tons of it. So I'm on his email list or lists, like in his Infusionsoft. And so he sends a daily email usually.
Okay.
And he has a group, a weekly coaching call. So you can ask questions on that call. He'll teach and then open it up for questions at the end.
Okay.
Cool. And he does the faith-based call after. So that one's like, he's giving that for free. It's not in his business coaching one, right? So that one's applying the Bible to your business, because he saw that no one was doing that. So he needed to fill the need. It was something that was meaningful to him.
Cool. So
that's an example of a free weekly call, right? And he recommends doing it. And I started to do that with my Live with Soul call, or now it's a Right Livelihood call. And it's awesome. I'm really glad I did it. It gives me something to invite people to, right? So it's very powerful for marketing, because that's part of your funnel. And it's a group, right? So now you know it's just that part of your week. It's just that time. It doesn't expand. It doesn't have to be, I did all these discovery meetings. No, it's just always at that time, and the size of the group should keep growing. That's what you want to keep growing.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm looking for is, how do I build a system that I don't have to work my tail off to maintain,
Okay, well, a nice simple one. There's only 4 parts that you need in it. That's what Sean Mize taught. So in his latest program, which is what he's doing right now, is a 6-week lifestyle business building class. So you build the foundation of a lifestyle business in 6 weeks. And I've been doing part of it. And so in some parts of it, I'm doing more than the homework. And in some parts, I haven't done it either, right? So, but the point is, it's very simple. So it's like 4 parts to the business.
So what are the 4 parts?
Okay, well, driving traffic, which is getting those subscribers to your landing page, which might be done by like podcast interviews or doing joint ventures. In my opinion, that's the way to do it. So that's how I would do it. But anyone can do it the way that works best for them. And we have to always optimize that better and better by what's working best and do more of it. We can try different variations, but anything that works not as well, we have to drop it and focus on what works best and do more of that and scale it up. That's traffic. Okay, traffic. There's the squeeze page. There's that opt-in page with the giveaway, the gift. And there's the delivery of that gift, which is with the email autoresponder. So part 2 is that thing right there. It's the gift.
Right.
Squeeze page. And you set that up once. You don't have to keep fiddling with it. So you just set it up once. So it's part of the business. It's one of the 4 parts, but you don't operate it on a daily and weekly basis. There's only 3 things that we operate: driving traffic, and then the next one, which is also the most important, which is teaching. So that could be in our weekly call. And we could make 2 of them, right? We could have a free weekly call for 1 hour or a half hour, whatever. And we can have a paid one for, say, an hour. And that's for our paid group, right? It could be our current class that we're doing for our group, like your coaching program or something like that, where you're guiding through, or a mentoring program. Doesn't matter what you call it.
Yeah.
So that class, that's the most important part, and it's the value of your business. It's you teaching and changing lives. That part right there.
Yeah.
And answering questions. But yeah, it's changing lives. So that part, he said, do that for 1 to 3 hours a week. That's the teaching, or he does that. So he said, at least do it for an hour a week. It's the most important part.
Okay.
The other most important part as well is the driving traffic, and you should do that one for as much time as you can. So it's like 80-20. It's like 80% of your time when you're not yet at a full-time income, 80% of the time should be building the list up, because you need the scale, the economy of scale from it, because it's simple, but you need to have the scale.
Right. Yep.
So I've said traffic and the squeeze page and the training. Another thing is daily email. So it's like daily content, daily email, a daily blog post, daily video put online. Most important being the daily email. So it's communicating to your group, because they're getting that communication, which continues to build. The conversation is ongoing, and there's communication, so there's trust. So we have to have that relationship building, always constantly going along and growing and evolving. And putting the content online is building your platform online so that more and more people will be finding you. And it proves that you're actively doing the thing that you're doing. So it could be with a quick daily blog post. It doesn't have to be long, but it's just so that so the search engines see that your website is current because there's another blog post on it, that kind of thing. And it should be valuable for your audience. And ideally you make it something people share, because then that brings more people to you. But that's going into it more deeply, right? A daily video, that continues to build that trust thing and also generates leads, because you put that daily video on YouTube, that thing over time, that YouTube channel will grow and grow and grow, right? And should bring you more and more leads opting in, because they learn something from the video, and then they come to you and get more. Now everything else happens because they get the daily emails. They come to the calls or the trainings, and they enroll, right? A percentage of them do all these things. So then it's traffic and the squeeze page with a gift, and the training that you do, and the daily content, which includes sending a daily email. And when you put content online, that content going online should be distributed too, right? Promoted. Because if we just put it online but don't promote it, it doesn't go as far. If we can get into communities online everywhere where there's people who can share that content, we should build relationships with the leaders of those communities, and even connect with members and get involved in the communities. The point is, we can get into those communities. Those people will share our content. That's where the traffic comes from, like organically online. Finding all those communities, not just Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn groups that are on your topic, but finding all of the websites and communities online for your topic. Where are those people? If you find as many of them as possible and get involved, and those people are sharing your stuff, you don't have to share it. They're sharing it for you. Right? So that's kind of content marketing, like driving traffic, long-term thing.
Yeah. How much time do you devote to creating that content every day?
Oh yeah, I do too much content creation and not enough selling, like creating sales letters or doing copywriting. So don't ask me how long. How long should we do it? Well, the daily email, we should spend 10 minutes sending the daily email. Like we shouldn't do it as long as I put too much time into it, really. He was saying do 10 minutes. Daily content, at least a half hour, maybe an hour. But like he suggested to start out and definitely do a half hour of daily content every day, which means you always spend half an hour every day creating content. Whether that's speaking for half an hour and recording the audio, or doing half an hour of videos. And if they're 5-minute videos, maybe one day you shot 6 of them. But it's 30 minutes of actively creating content. Maybe you're typing for 30 minutes, so whatever it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
That content, it doesn't matter what the content is for when you're creating it. You do it as a habit. It's how we write books, right? Like some people say, write 1,000 words a day. So then you'll have a book once you're done.
Right.
It happens over a period of time, and it's very predictable.
Absolutely. Yep.
And it's important what we do every day. Yeah. So you're asking, so you've got the parts, and now you're asking how much time to put into them. So I'd say I have this little model here. So how much time per week? I'm going to do 2 hours of training. So basically in a 10-hour per week or 10 and a half hours, I'm putting 2 hours into training and half an hour into sales letters per week. And because that's the product creation part of it. It has the training itself and the sales letter for the training. And 1 hour for daily emails. This is over the week, so that's from 10 minutes a day. And traffic would be all the rest of the time that we have. daily content creation, if that's half an hour a day and 5 days a week, that's 2.5 hours. So we've got 2 hours training, half hour sales letters, that's 2.5. Another 2.5 for daily content creation, we're at 5. 1 hour for the daily emails, we're at 6. So then, so if I have 10.5 hours, then that would be six, right? So 5.5, sorry, 4.5 more on traffic. I think that's right. So, but what Sean recommended though was basically 70 or 80% of the time on traffic. So it's going to where the people are, the exact people who have the needs, and attracting them to where you are. So to your landing page or your content that brings them into the system.
Yeah.
And so that one I'm focusing on podcasts and joint ventures. Right now, I'm layering joint ventures on later. So I'm focusing on podcasts for now to keep it simple, because I said I'll do one every 5 days. So I'm going to focus on it and do well at it. Then I can layer on joint ventures.
Yeah.
So that's how I keep it simple. You can see how much time to put into each part, and then I track those, or I should be tracking them. When you start to implement the model, you should track your time. So you do the right things and see if you're doing enough of each thing. Or if you're way in balance, like I was doing, too much content creation, but not enough on promotion of the content, or organizing it, or whatever it is, right?
Part of what I've got, and I've been doing this more for my self-care stuff, is I've got what I call a balance sheet for that. And so I've got like these different elements. So like my yoga and my meditation, my writing and all that kind of journaling, that kind of stuff that I keep track of every day. And those are like the deposits. And then on the other side, I've got like withdrawals, which I try to avoid having, but it's like, not watching my diet or spending too much time, watching Netflix or whatever,
Okay. So you balance the two. You're accountable to yourself about what you do on both sides of it.
Right.
Like, if I sat at the computer for too long and it wasn't good for my body because I was sitting so long, or vegging out, watching all this TV, whatever it is, then you put that down. That was how much time I put into that.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
cool. I think that thing right there is a good, valuable giveaway for people too. On your thing about living, like intentionally getting the fun back, the imagination, playfulness, all that, because then you have a tool that you develop for yourself in your life, right? And now you have a story about it, and they might also benefit from it. They don't have to create the tool themselves. You can share it with them. They can opt in to get that gift.
Yeah.
To build a list right there too.
Because
you have many gifts out there.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I'm realizing as I'm doing this program is like I've got all these because that's where kind of I reside, is like the designing, different tools and creating things.
Okay.
Is that, instead of looking at that as a negative, it's like, okay, so how do I turn that into a positive, and how do I spend my time doing more of that stuff, which I really enjoy and I think I'm pretty good at.
And you can help other people do it.
Right, exactly.
They may be stuck on that part of it.
Yeah.
And then you can share your gift with them, because you can ask them questions, and then you get clear, you get intuitive hits about their business too.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yep.
You can do that.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of putting it all together and, kind of making a system out of it. But I've been thinking about, how do I organize my time so that I'm spending time in that idea creation, the designing, the building, and the promoting, so that it's not like
of your own business. So doing all 4 of your own business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because you always have to be. If you want to move up to the next level, you've always got to be working on all 4 of those areas, right?
Yeah, and that's the same thing Sean was talking about with his components there. Always building all of those. You're always getting more people coming in. You're always communicating with them. You're creating new content, and it's becoming better content, more deeper, more strategic. All this stuff's happening, and you're creating new training, cutting edge training. You're always launching new products, 1 new product a month. Because if you're teaching every week, it's a new training class, right? If you have a paid group, they're getting it. If you don't have a paid group and you just have a free one, that's fine, because you're still recording a new hour of training every week. And then you put those together, you launch a new product every month. And if you wrote for half an hour a week on the sales letter, that's 2 hours a month. You should be able to have the sales letter done We can even do a sales letter faster than that, right? But you know, that's like saying putting parts of it in over the month. And then I think as we get better at this, we can go faster. I want to launch every week. I want to start launching like faster than every week. But see, what we're doing is creating more products. And then we have a whole product line and at different price points, right? And so then we can have a funnel. So we've got all these different things people can avail themselves of.
Right. Yeah. Huh.
It helps people see us as a guru as well, because we have all these products and at different price points, so people can try us out, or they're more serious, they invest higher, right? All the options are there.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, this has been really, really helpful. So
awesome. Yeah.
I will, I likely will be asking you questions along the way, because
all right. Well, definitely come to the group calls. I have the free one.
When do you have that? Because I started a meetup. I'm setting up a meetup group on Wednesdays at 11:30, which means I need to leave by 11.
Okay, you're in Pacific time, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. My free one is at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. That's when it starts.
Yeah.
So it's just at the same time as yours, basically, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So maybe, and I'm not sure the frequency. So maybe the weeks when I'm not going to that, then I can go to your.
Oh yeah, the open call. You can always come there and ask questions. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I've been thinking about, and I don't really have.
The other thing is, since you're in this mastermind, why don't I, as long as you're a member of this mastermind, why don't I give you access to my other group? Because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Like, why wouldn't I, right? Because you're helping me. We're supposed to help each other. So you don't have to pay me $97 to be in that group, right? So then now that offer obviously has to go for everyone else in this mastermind, and it's fine because it's optional whether they come to that other thing or not. So it's a resource that's available to you.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
I think that works, because then it's at an earlier time too.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, and likewise, I can do the same thing for you with the program that I'm running right now. So
thank you. That would be great. And then we can give feedback to each other too. We can help improve the programs if it fits.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool.
Okay, that's great. We made more progress there, opening up to each other, becoming more abundant.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So FYI, I did my first class for that last Thursday, but I'm doing a replay and a live replay tomorrow at 11 Pacific. So.
Oh, right. So you're doing a meetup. I thought you were doing a lot.
No.
Person. Oh.
No, the meetup is the Wednesday thing.
Yeah.
The program is online.
Okay.
So, like we're doing right now.
Okay. All right. Okay. Can you invite us to it? Give us a link please invite us to that, and you can post it in the Facebook group if you have a link to the group.
What is the name of the Facebook group? Because I don't know if I've got the link that saved.
Well, I'll send a link out. I guess it's I think it's Conscious Business. Oh no, it's something else. Conscious Connections, right?
Conscious Connections. Okay.
Yeah, and that should work when you search it because we're in it. But aside from that, other people probably won't find it because it's a small group.
Okay. All right. Cool. Conscious Connections. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds great.
Yeah. I put it in as a link too, because I have it handy in a file about this mastermind.
Okay.
So I put it in as a private message to you and Sam just now.
By the way, do you know you can change the group name from that 44 whatever to an actual?
Well, I didn't create the group. Sam created it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I guess, we can. That's a good point.
Let's just, yeah.
So please invite us to your call, to your webinar.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing the future development of everything you got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and work together. And if you have a gift for the spiritual healers, then please send it over. Send a link to the landing page. That's
okay.
A start for it.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Now, would you have I imagine the answer is yes to this, but would you have a different landing page for each of your gifts?
Yeah. 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 For example, in the doing the podcasting thing, there's a thing where there's a podcast episode called How Podcasts Can Increase Your Sales, I think, on the Sales Evangelist. So that guy teaches it. He's like saying, here's how you can use getting interviewed on podcasts to grow your business. So like make a landing page each time you go on a podcast. So my thing for the first one is positiononpurpose.com/YSM. Your shift matters, right? YSM. So that there, then it welcomes those people. So we can put a picture of Dana on the page and me.
Really?
Right? It will welcome them.
Oh, wow. So you do a landing page for each of the interviews.
That's my plan, yeah. It just adds a little bit of time because all I'll do is duplicate the other one unless I'm giving different gifts to their audience, right? But I would duplicate it and then put that person's picture instead of Dana's, right? And say, welcome to, the Welcome Fire Nation, right? I've seen people do this. So then it's Welcome Fire Nation, right? And picture of John Lee Dumas and whoever is the one who got interviewed. And then now you're welcoming that exact audience. And maybe you give them gifts right on the page and opt in for the other gifts. So I was giving them like 4. So I decided to put one video on the page because it adds credibility because they can just watch it right there and they'll see that I have something to teach them. And then I've got the other gifts, whatever was promised, you just opt in, you get the whole package of them.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's really cool.
So in that case, it was more gifts than one thing, but it's one gift because it was a package of gifts for them. But yeah, usually it's an individual gift on each page. Yeah, that's the way Sean Mize would do it. So it's a specific thing, like how to get a goal accomplished in 10 days or something like that. So then he's giving away a training that teaches you how to do a goal in 10 days or something.
Okay.
And that's what it is. And so it's got the headline and the bullets of what you learn and the opt-in form. And maybe some more, maybe a picture of the gift, maybe a picture of you and your title.
Okay, cool.
At the basic level, like I told you in that earlier one, that's what I got from Sean. The basic one, it's the headline and the bullets and the opt-in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Well, this has been really great. So
you're welcome. Well, thank you too. It's great. It's great to share with you.
Yeah.
And to hopefully help and also to learn from you.
Yeah.
I took some good notes. Thank you.
Excellent.
And I'll be reviewing the recording sometime for sure because it's great stuff. I know you have some amazing stuff to share with people, and I want more people to discover you.
Cool. Excellent. Likewise.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
All right.
All right. Have a great day.
See you later. Yeah, you too.
Okay.
Bye, Steve.
All right.